So, hello, I think we have two people already here. So, because you have come early, you get the first chance. Go ahead, ask your questions. Anything that is related to, say, your campus, anything that you feel like you need to know, and anything that you feel that, okay, this is something that you have not got the answer to, except the queries of the campus that I am not getting my mail or my photograph is not there on the admit card. Anything except that. Gautam, you have a question. How long do Big Four interviews generally go? Now, there are two things that I want to tell you here. First is on campus, second is off campus. If you're on campus, what will happen is your interview, there will be three rounds. First will be a GD round, then there will be a technical round, and the third would be a partner round. And those all the three will be completed in a day. The GD will be almost 20 minutes. And within 20 minutes, you will get the result of that answer, and then the technical one where they'll try to ask you questions related to index and all that in different field where you're going, and the last one will be the partner round where he will try to find out a little bit about your technical skills but more about your interpersonal skills. So that is what they're trying to go ahead and they're going to do, but this is on campus. When you're off campus, what will happen in case of off campus, you will have to wait. These generally go in for 1 day or 2 days sometimes, where first of all there will be no GD round, but what will happen there is they might pull you in for total three rounds, again 3 or 4 rounds. Well, it depends again on this on the basic big four, but mostly the rounds are technical, HR, and partner rounds. These are the three rounds that are there. And what it could last for between 15-20 minutes to up to an hour, because there is no time limit for particularly the off campus one. On campus they have a time limit, so maximum 20 minutes. Okay, the next question is, what sort of questions do they generally ask in bank interviews? See, when you're going to a bank, there are three profiles that are there. One is relationship manager. Relationship manager is basically the person where you're going ahead and you are getting clients for the bank. So that is relationship manager. There, what they will ask is they will basically see more of your interpersonal skills and how well you are in telling or explaining a product that is there for a bank, and how you're good at converting the customers for them. That is relationship manager. The second is credit manager. Credit manager is basically where you're analyzing your balance sheets, the client's balance sheets, and assessing whether they are credit worthy enough to give a loan. So here what they will technically ask you is the ratios. Ratios should be very good when you're going for a bank interview. That is something where you should always remember. Going for a bank interview means you have to understand the ratios. That is the first thing. The second thing that they can ask is LFAR, which is long form audit report. That is there. What exactly, if you have done any bank audits, what exactly is going to be asked in LFAR, what you have personally done, or any such questions. The third thing that they can ask is, if you're doing any bank audit, if you have what exactly is there in the balance sheet. And one question that have generally heard from a lot of people, they tend to ask some tricky questions, which is like a question that can come into is, what is something that comes into your notes section but is still a source of revenue for the bank itself? Now, if you have the question, basically you will know the answer. The answer is guarantees, bank guarantees. The bank guarantees do not come into the balance sheet. They're off balance sheet until and unless they are when they go ahead and they create some kind of a liability for the bank. But they always are a source of revenue. So this is one of the common questions that they try to ask. Otherwise, they'll say, "What is the major revenue for the banks? What is the major expenses for the bank? Something around the liabilities and the assets." This is something that they ask. They do not focus more on your AS and everything. They focus on these aspects as majorly. Hi Abhishek. Hi Hardik. Ashika, you have a question. Is it good time to join a mid-sized firm? Will learning be more compared to big brands? Ashika, that's a very subjective question because what happens is even if in a mid-sized firm, it depends upon the work that you're getting. In a mid-sized firm, if there are no good clients, if they're not something which are adding more value to you or which are not very big clients where you can handle end-to-end stuff, then it will be something where you will have a little bit problem in understanding it. And one thing that I want to make it clear for everyone, if you have an opportunity to get into a big four versus a mid-sized firm, always choose big four because a very good trouble that will come in future for you is going to be salary negotiations. So currently if you are getting a little bit lesser salary, I know that people say that lesser salary is fine, but when you get into this industry, and I've personally seen this when I was interviewing for my last job, for my current job that I'm going to go in, uh, most of the companies were not ready to pay me more than 30%. So that is something that you will have to see. 30%, 35% is the maximum that they get. So if you get into something where you have lesser salary, so maybe later on what will happen is you will have to negotiate on that salary to 30% or 40% hike, and that is going to be a big problem for you. So if you have an opportunity between big brands and companies, see, it's not just about the money. The second thing is the brand power that you get when you are working. So I've worked for PwC for 4 months, but I still have that brand that okay, I've worked for a big four. It does not matter if I work for 4 months or something. That is not something that I'm discussing here. But the major thing is the brand power that you get. Being like American Express and PwC have been very big brands. These are the top. They both come in top 10 brands of the world. So branding is also very much important. Your brand value and the kind of salary you will get. Yeah, learning is important. I'm not saying learning is not important, but a choice between big four and a mid-sized firm, you will definitely learn more from a big four. Just that you will specialize in big fours. That is the only drawback that you'll get there. If you're getting into a statutory audit, maybe in a mid-sized firm you could have done more work in different fields, but in a big four you will be specializing in one particular place. Maybe it's internal audit, it's a statutory audit, or it's any such thing like that. So it completely depends upon you. And so that is it. If you also if you're liking it, please like the video, and so that more people get to notify about it. The next one is again from Abhishek. Okay, should we pursue MBA finance or CFA after CEO start job right now and do higher education later? I'll tell you my story and then you can have an influence. I had this exact same doubt. I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to create something. I wanted to go for an MBA. I and actually went ahead and I enrolled for basically GMAT coachings without even understanding what should I be doing. Then I went ahead to check some stats. First of all, more than 3 lakh people go for a CAT, and after doing that, from that CAT, how many people actually have get seats in an MBA? It's like 900 or 1000. Odds are very bad. That is the first drawback for a full-time MBA. Second is MBA is not about learning or bookish knowledge. MBA is about creating a network. MBA is about creating the communication skills. MBA is about trust. Okay, that is what an MBA gives you. It doesn't give you the knowledge. So going for a 2-year MBA, according to me, is not feasible because you can gain or you can learn all those things within a year. So my advice to you would be, first of all, complete. You have completed your CA, join a corporate, see how the jobs are in, because you have always since childhood you have done maybe you have done an industrial training or not, I don't know, but apart from industrial training you would have not had any exposures in the corporate, so you don't know how the corporate works. So first of all, get into a corporate. That is the first step. Do not enroll for any courses like this, because 70% of the people who enroll for CFA, and that is a fact, 70% of the people who actually enroll for a CFA, after they qualify CA, they never pursue it. So don't waste your 30,000-40,000 rupees of your parents' hard-earned money. Don't do that. First of all, go into the corporate, see what the corporate wants. The actual way to grow in a corporate is something where what will happen is When you go there, when you understand what exactly is happening in that corporate, see what the people at the top positions have done in their particular life, or what certifications do they hold, or also when the new jobs are coming in. So for example, the new job postings of your company, have a look, see what are the requirements that they're asking for. From there, what you will get is, if you want to be in that corporate, you will get to know what exactly is the things that you have to pursue. So when I went into my company, which is American Express, I had no idea what I have to do. So here, what I did was I waited and I saw what exactly is being done in the company, and based on that, I moved ahead. So that is it. Don't enroll for anything. If you after being in a corporate for 1 or 2 year, you feel okay, I need to go for an MBA, go for a 1 year MBA through GMAT. Okay. There are so many questions. Huh? Okay, for this I have done. Hardik, I am attending interview of Shri Cement manufacturing plant. Can you suggest areas to prepare? If you are going for a cement company, what you will do is you will have to see what is the business work, and this is common for every business. What is the basic thing that is there in a particular business? If it is a cement business, it is a manufacturing concern. See what is how what are the raw materials that are coming in, what are there. So inventory is something that is going to be very prominent there. Second is the purchase process and everything that is there, what exactly how the process is happening and everything. And then if any related accounting or related accounting standards or index are applicable, see what are those. And if you have any experience from the previous past into this particular domain, whereby you have done audit of a particular manufacturing company, you can go ahead and you can understand from there what exactly is happening there. And based on that, you can they will definitely ask you what you have done in this particular audit, and what were the things that you found out, major findings. So see, what happens is, most of the companies who are coming in campus, they want to see whether you have done practical trainings or not, whether you have practical exposure or not. They definitely check your numbers. I'm not saying they don't, but this is also something which is major there. And I this is unofficial data, but a lot of people who are rankers as well, they end up getting the job, but later on they get notices that you are not fit for the job, because they might have not done something which is like they have taken dummy or something like that. So this is something that happens. So they want to actually check how much is your knowledge. So it depends upon the knowledge that you have. Will orientation program be conducted physically? Excellent. Sorry. I'll be in. There's another question from Gautam. Will articleship for two firms have a negative impact on the candidate? Will he be grilled on the interview on that? No, nothing like that. Why will they be grilled? Simply say that whatever was your reason, I was not getting enough work, I was not happy with that. You switched out. It is not a problem at all. I don't know why people say that. I switched twice. It doesn't matter. The next one is, I'm attending it. Yeah, this one is done. This one is there. Will orientation program be conducted physically? I don't know. I don't know. I literally don't know. That is something that the institute, you will have to find out from the institute. No, I mean mid-sized corporates for profiles like financial reporting or FP&A. Mid-sized corporates, yeah, FP&A. See, there are things. One is companies which are Fortune 500, and another is startups. If you want to learn, go for startups. Go for startups, and that is no brainer, because in corporates, what happens? There is a wall. There is a wall that is created which says that, okay, this is something that you have to do, okay, this is something that you have to do, and you are bound with that ball. What happens when you're in a startup? This is not there. This thing is not there. You are open to do a lot of things, a lot more things that you feel are important for you, and the things that you feel you can do, you can contribute. So that is something. If you want to learn, do not go for learn like in a way where you want to devote your 100% attention, 100% time. A person who is there in a startup for 3 years knows well more than a person who is there in a corporate for 6 years or 7 years. So that is something. If you're wanting to go there, mid-sized corporates, I don't understand. If you have any company in your mind, just do let me know. Maybe I'll see. Okay, I'll specifically tell you for that. MS in finance from Singapore would be good. If you're a chartered accountant, MS from finance is something you can do. But see, what happens in MS and MBAs from foreign universities, you get specific to that particular market. So if you want to settle definitely in Singapore, this is the best choice. You can go ahead and do it. But if you want to come back to India, there is no point of doing something or specializing in a market where you don't want to work. So instead, do something which is there in the market in which you want to work. I have done articleship I have done articleship in a mid-sized firm, and I worked as an employee in another mid-sized firm. Area of work are almost similar. Okay. And can I give my areas of work together or both in a consolidated way, or should I list? You can give it in a consolidated way. It does not matter. And then, do you think Indian B schools curriculum is outdated? I definitely don't think that is true. The process, that the GMAT process, that is something that has been ongoing for a long period of time. The CAT is the same, but they are innovating. The specialization that they're bringing, the specializations they are bringing in fintech, they're bringing in blockchain, they're bringing in analytics and everything. So they are doing all those innovations, and so that is not true. They are working on it, and there are various types of MBAs that you want to do. 2 years MBA is not something that I will ever suggest any chartered accountant. You have the knowledge. You don't need a 2 year MBA for the knowledge. You need it for the network. You need it for the communication skills, or the way in which you can be groomed. That is something that you need from an MBA, and 1 year is more than enough. I actually learned all of these things while I was preparing for let's say any XYZ school for US. So I already learned that in the process, and I did not feel like going into one. Though I actually enrolled for GMAT classes and did all those things, but in the process I learned, so I did not go for it. Can I give my areas of work together? Okay, that is done. I want to go into financial risk management. Any additional course or certificate that you suggest? So first of all, when you want to go into some fields where you have knowledge, that is good. If you do not have knowledge, always a very good source is, first of all, try to find out a teacher that is online who's teaching for a very like 4,000, 5,000 max for a course. If they're doing it, you're very good. Go to him, ask all your doubts, pursue that course, so that you get the knowledge about it. If you do not find such courses, what you do is, the next thing you can go ahead and what you can do is actually get into one of these courses on Udemy or Coursera, where you can actually get or gain the knowledge first from there. And after you have gained the knowledge, you know what exactly is happening there, then you should go for pursuing something better. And for risk management, there is something called FRM, which you can do. But then what happens is, FRM is something you should do when you know what exactly that risk profile is. Okay, and that is the only course. There is some courses by institute as well. I have not gone through the curriculum of that course, so I cannot comment on how it is. How to prepare for GD? GD is very simple. See, there are two kinds of people, and that is it. One is introvert, another is extrovert. Correct? And I'll tell you both how an introvert and how an extrovert both can work out their GD. The first thing is, when you are going for a GD, if you are an introvert or if you're an introvert. So let's talk about introverts first, because we have more introverts in the community than extroverts. So when you're going there in the particular community in a GD, you walk in, you should always carry, for both introverts and extroverts, you should always carry a pen and a paper. And whenever the topic is given out to you, it does not matter what others are doing. You have to concentrate and you have to write that topic. If you do not understand that topic, you do not care about others, what others would feel. You just ask them again, can you please repeat the topic for them? Now, here, what will happen is, once you have written down the topic, if you know the topic, it's very good. Try to take the first movers advantage. We have brownie points for that. If you do not know the topics and you still want to take the first start, what you do is, you start with this. Okay, so I think the topic is this, and what we can do is, I think we can divide it for twos and fros. And first of all, let's start with twos. Anyone for the twos? So you do not know what the topic is. You initiated. You got those brownie points even before you do not know anything about it, and then you started the topic. And while you were what you do is, you accumulate all those points, and once you're confident enough and you have a thought or something which you can go out and say, you can simply say, okay, so yeah, I think you are absolutely correct, and this is how it should be done. Now, another tip: when someone is speaking, you have to assess when he's going to stop. The moment he is about to stop, 2 seconds from before that, 1 or 2 seconds, when you see his voice modulation going a little bit low, you start your point. Once you start your point, what will happen is, after starting that point, you have to stop only and only if someone else also starts and he doesn't stop for the next 5 seconds. So let's say someone stops, you start, but there is someone else as well who's starting with you, and he doesn't care to listen to you, and he just blabbers. But so what you have to do here is, you have to show that, okay, I wanted to say something, but I stopped because I want to honor the other person's voice, because he doesn't seem to care. This is something which is very good for you. Now, if you enter into a room where nobody is listening, everyone is blabbering, you have to just sit there and be quiet. Shut your mouth and sit there. You will be shortlisted, others will be disqualified, because you're showing them that, okay, this is something where I know even if I say something correct, they are not going to consider it. So that is there. Also, sometimes they give you 2 minutes time to think about a particular thing. At that particular point of time, what you have to do is you have to pen down your thoughts. If you're going to pen down your thoughts, whenever your turn comes, you will be ready with that thought. Otherwise, these thoughts come and go very easy. And maybe when it's time for you to speak, you've forgotten that point. So write that point. Big Four versus industry. So Big Four versus industry is a very good question that comes always for me. Industry is something where you get into something specific. If you get into a finance, if you get into a treasury, like for example, I'm in treasury, so I'm industry specific into treasury. I'm not saying it's bad, it is very good. You are getting into a specialization. But until and unless you do not know which specialization you want to do, where you want to pursue, then that is one of the problems. But what you will get in industry is you will get a good work life balance. Definitely 99% of the industries give you a very good work life balance. And with that work life balance, you can upgrade yourself, you can learn something new, you can take time, create something of your own self as well. They do not pursue you, or they do not push you that you cannot do all those things. You have that much time for yourself that you can do all those things. Just one drawback, another, which is the salary that you will get, the increments that you get from the second year or third year might not be as good as the Big Four increments. But in Big Four, what you will happen is you will be working for 10, 12, 14 hours. You will have no time for yourself, but you will get basically more bonuses, better salary increments. So it depends. You can have a trajectory where you work for, let's say, Big Fours for 3, 4 years. You get into a very good salary scale, and then you switch into an industry. That is one way to go. The second is you be in an industry, you create yourself, you upgrade yourself, you create something for yourself, you build yourself, and along with your job, you try to create a passive revenue source, which at the end of the 3 years, both of you will come out to be equal. How is FPA? FPA is financial planning. What is FPA? FP and A, financial planning and analysis. It is one of the cream. Sorry, I missed one. How to prepare for interviews and GD rounds, or select which field is good for us. For GD, I've already told you. For uh, which field is good for you, that you have to explore. That is not something that anyone can tell you. What you like is something that you like. And if you're liking something, then what you have to do is you have to go ahead and you have to pursue that. Now, how do you find out what you like? It is not something that you will get within a month or within a minute or within an hour. It is something that you will have to explore. And if you're exploring it, the best way, again, Udemy, Udemy, Udemy. In there, what you can do is anything that you want to go and buy a course for 400, 500 rupees. See what exactly is that field. In that field, you will be able to understand what exactly is the work that you're going to do. A lot of people who say they want to get into equity research analyst and equity jobs, and they want to be an IB, once they get into an IB, they feel like where they are stuck, because IB is not for everyone. It needs a lot more commitment and a lot more things than you actually need. And a lot more people who think that it is one of the best profiles, and yes, it is, but it's not for everyone. So before you take such decisions, what you can do is you can simply go ahead, check out these courses on Udemy, find out what is your place where you like something, and then take such decisions. So a lot of people will tell you this is good, that is good. Listen to everyone, but do something only of that sort once you are convinced enough that this is something that you like. If you're liking the video, please go ahead and like the video as well. So how is FP&A profile? So the profile that we have today, basically what happens is FP&A is one of the most good profile that you have. So there is, first of all, there is equity analysis, there is M&A, there is FP&A, there is financial analysis manager, which is FAM, and all these things. So FP&A ranks in the top 5. It's a good profile where you will learn a lot about analysis, a lot about budgeting, forecasting in a particular business, for that particular business. And this is where you get a very easy job switch as well. The pay is also very good. So it's one of the very good roles that you can get into. How can I apply for Big Four if 6 attempts taken to clear CA? So if you have 6 attempts, first of all, you will have very good difficulty in getting into this. If you have someone who is ready to give you a reference, then that is the point where you can go ahead and you can actually ask them to give you something through which they can arrange an interview. Without a reference, with 6 attempts, it's almost impossible. And that is from experience, I can say. I have multiple attempts, and it was really difficult to get into a Big Four at that point of time. I'm really glad I went there, ended up from there in 4 months. But yeah, it is very difficult to go. So you will have to find someone, let's say on LinkedIn or any senior person who is there. If you're not getting that, instead of big four, go for big tens first, and then from there you can go ahead and take a switch into big fours later on. And 6 attempts going for bank, is it worth in the longer run? See, banks is something where it depends upon your profile. A lot of profiles are there. For relationship manager, I never suggest it, because that is not something that we are meant to do. But there are some people who want to go for targeted, let's say, sales based jobs where they can get more money. Relationship manager is just that. If you have meet your targets, you get a lot of things. Then there is lending, MSME lendings and all, again target based. If you're getting more clients, you get more money, and bonuses and etc., you get all those things. But in the longer run, if you get into all these profiles, that and even credit profile as well, what happens is these are specific profiles, and these profiles, when you have to switch into different profile, that is going to be a problem. But if you remain in that particular profile, then that is not going to be a problem. You can still remain in that particular profile and keep switching on credit profiles. That will be something where you can create a career out. But just the one thing, the jobs in the banks, they are slowly reducing a little bit. So you have to upgrade yourself every time. You have to upgrade with the technology so that you remain relevant for the bank at every point of time. Please like the video. Thank you, Hardik. Then how good is Technosoft Corporation for either financial reporting or FP&A? Since it is a big brand, will it be difficult to switch company later? So I do not know what the company is, Technosoft Corporation, but FP&A is something which is a good role. And I already told you what exactly is FP&A earlier. The financial reporting is basically, there are various forms of reporting. One is legal entity reporting, where if you have multiple entities, so you get charge of a particular legal entity and you report about it. These are basically subsidiaries or some smaller companies which have been acquired. That is one. Another is balance sheet and PL reporting, where you go ahead and you tell what exactly is these reportings. When you're reporting a particular reporting line, for example, your team is uh, liable, or your team is taking care of the asset side of the balance sheet. Or even sometimes if it is a very big company, then they give you even one line item, so you have to see all those things. What is happening there is basically all those things you will get, and you will understand there. So that is another thing where you report your balance sheet PL lines. Apart from that, what happens is another thing, that the last thing is, when you evaluate, when you try to acquire any new business, what will happen is you will be able to go ahead and you will be able to understand as well what exactly are the new businesses that they're trying to take over. So that is what is reporting for you. And yeah, FP&A I've already told. Indian B schools or abroad, which one do you prefer? If you want to stay in the market of India, do not go for foreign MBAs. At least you will have to spend 5-10 years outside India before you actually come in and take that worth of that MBA. If you're doing from a foreign university in India, you should target for, if you are going I do not know about the 2 years MBA, but for the GMAT, I definitely recommend go for, after 2 years of your corporate life, apply for ISB or IIM Bangalore. That gives you, after 5 years, or 5 years of experience of corporate, 4 years of experience in IIM Ahmedabad, 3 years of experience in IIM Calcutta, 2 years of experience in and there was another one in Mumbai. I'm not remembering the name. So these are the top 5-6 which are there, where you can go ahead in 1 year, you get a very good hike, 70, 80, 90% of a hike. But if you learn through the process that is there, then you get even more. So that is something that is there. Abroad is only and only when you want to settle in abroad. Okay, I have all the questions done. Any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? Wow, I've completed all of them in 30 minutes. No one? Okay. I started getting them. Your view on regulatory reporting profile in companies like Goldman, JP Morgan, how will the career progress? Reporting, I just told you what exactly is reporting. That is the reporting that you will do. These are Fortune 500, so you can juggle in between Fortune 500s. Goldman gives you a very good starting package. I think last time I checked, they give you something around 10 to 11 lakh rupees for reporting profiles as well, and as a fresher. So definitely a good profile to get into. And then every Fortune 500 has a reporting team or a reporting branch, so you can go ahead and have a reporting branch everywhere. So definitely not where you will feel okay, I've got into reporting, now where I do. There is internal reporting, there's external reporting, and all those things. Regulatory reporting, reg reporting is is basically like reporting on all the company's balance sheet. So you will also have to learn more about US gap and all those things if you're going into JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, because they are not reporting in India. Thanks a lot for all the guidance. Did we miss? So that is there. And apart from that, if you're going into campus, just even if you're multiple attempter, if you are single attempter, it does not matter. Your confidence matters. If you are getting into a profile, believe me, if you're getting in an interview and people are, if someone asks you how many attempts, you pause for 2 seconds and you then tell, okay, 3 attempts. He will not take you for the job, no matter how good you are. That is it. So do not, even if you have no matter how many attempts, carry yourself. Have that confidence to talk to someone, look into their eye, and give them the answers. If you do not know something, do not haggle and say, okay, don't do that. Just simply say, I am sorry, I do not know it. Do you want me to still attempt it? If they say yes, you can still try, you can give it a try, then only try. This way, even if you give a wrong answer, they know you are just trying. You do not are act, you are not acting that you know. You're just trying after their permission. So something that you should always know, that whenever you're doing that in your campus interviews, you are just, if you're fumbling, take a deep breath. That is it. And whenever you're talking in English, do not think in Hindi. That is going to be the biggest problem when you're going to do. If you're talking in if you're thinking in Hindi and you're talking in English, I mean, I tried just I was just trying to do it for you, but I'm not able to do it. But if you try, if you sit and if you try, if you're thinking in Hindi and you're trying to talk in English, you will fumble. So do not try to do it. Try to think in English, and it's not something that is going to be built within a day or two. But yeah, slowly and steadily, if you try to do that, your English and your communication skills are going to improve. That is another tip. And if for GD, I've already told you what you have to do. For interviews, I've already told you. And one of the I don't know if they are if they will be conducting all the interviews online, or they are going to conduct all the interviews offline. If it is offline, try to have make buddies there. Try to make friends there, so that if you have multiple interviews on the same day, you can tell them, if one can stand at one place, another can stand at any other place, so that you both are able to communicate and know when is the time for the interview, when your name is being called. That is called smart work, not the hard work, smart work. So that is there. And be confident, no matter what. Be confident, do not try to fake something, because interviewers that they come into the campus, they are very much experienced. Within fraction of a minute, they will know that you're trying to dupe, or that you're trying to fake something. So don't do that. That is it. There is nothing to worry about. There is nothing where you will feel, okay, where have I come into? If you're not doing something, say easily, I do not know it. And that's fine. Any other questions that you want me to address, that this is the question that someone can ask in the interview and I want to answer, and I want the answer for that? Anything that you want, go ahead and ask. Business analyst profile is basically similar to analysis profile, where you are given a task to analyze things, and to analyze a particular job or a particular thing that is there. That is what business analyst is. Any questions that you feel you need answers to before you get into an interview, go ahead and ask. And yes, another thing is, go for the pandemic. Because of the pandemic, there are some important things that you need to know. That is how the pandemic has impacted the revenue. What are the, if the losses are happening due to pandemic, where what is the treatment of all those things? This is something that you should know. And if you do not know it, Google it. Try to talk it out to your peers, because you need to know all those things. They will ask you some such things. All right, I'm giving you 1 more minute. If you have any questions, go ahead with it. Otherwise, I end the live broadcast. And if you enjoyed, if you got your answers, go ahead and do ahead and like the video. And we have another question: why should we hire you? Why should we hire you? What is the general question that you say? Because I'm more confident, because I'm hardworking. Everyone is hardworking. So just don't try to write or say the same words which is there. I am hardworking. Just say that, okay, I am someone who understands the job role completely. I have the relevant experience because based on this, and I am ready to learn new things. I'm ready to explore, and I'm ready to get my hands dirty into the process, to improve the process, to help build that process, and to be there with the team, to work as a in collaboration with whatever members that I have in the team, so that we can get the maximum benefit. That is something that is way better than saying I am hardworking, I am punctual. This is something that you should have told when you were in BCom, not something that you say in a CA. How to think on the very day of offering the which profile to select? You can ask me the profiles. I will tell you the profiles. How to select is basically a decision that you have to make where you want to work. See, this is the very common mistake that a lot of people do, is they ask others whether this is a good profile. For me, treasury is very good. For you, treasury might be useless. For me, blockchain is very good. For you, maybe blockchain has no relevance. So what I'm trying to say is everyone has its own tastes and likes. If you have your own tastes and likes, you should be going ahead and you should be working on that as only. You should not be going ahead and asking what others like. I like a lot of things, but you might not like those things. So that decision is yours. If you ask any profiles, I'll be happy to answer them. R2R profile is reporting something which is there in Genpact, which is more concerned about what exactly are you reconciliation, bank accounting, and all those things, where you have to basically work on majorly accounting work. R2R is that accounting work is majorly done there. So accounting entries, accounting setups, and all those things, that is there in Genpact. That is the major profile that they have, where they get work from the front end in US and everywhere, and you have to basically go ahead and maintain their books of accounts and reconciliations and all those things. Okay, I think we have all the questions done. So last 10 seconds. Okay, since after entering a job, CA gets into a specific profile, how to stay updated? It's very simple. If you're getting into a profile, keep exploring what is coming as new. There'll be courses on analytics. There'll be courses on instead of analytics, there'll be courses on blockchain, RPA. See what your organization is doing, where automations is happening, and all those things. Then based on that, keep upgrading yourself. See what the future is. See what people on LinkedIn are saying, how they're proving it, how these things are happening. So you'll have to see all those things, and by that, you don't close your LinkedIn once you qualify. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool. Just continue being there, writing stuff and doing all those stuff, or getting engaging with other people as well. You need to create your online presence, because in this pandemic, most of the people are working from home. We do not know how you are. Though these profiles, these engagements tell us what kind of a person you are. Hi Krishna, do you have any questions? Okay, so I guess that's it. I'll again, for the last time, I'll try and connect next Saturday as well. And in next Saturday, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I will answer all your doubts. Okay, so I'll do that for you. And based on that, next Saturday as well, if you still have questions, go ahead and ask in the group as well. You have me there. If you have any questions left, go ahead and ask them. And do subscribe to the channel, so that next time, if even if you miss my messages, you are updated with the bell notification. Okay guys, see you next weekend. Till then, bye bye, take care.